It's the way we live our lives, knowing we gon' be alright. Forever stay on my grind. Don't you know? I'm a star. You gon' know who we are. I'm a star. You gon' know who we are.
Happy New Year. You are on with Non-Negatives on Networking Exclusive. I'm your host, Miss Lotus Lord.
Mr. AC Saturday coming at you.
Miss Cafeaulait.
And in the house, we have the pleasure to have Mr. Damian Sanders of One West Magazine.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming in.
Appreciate y'all having me.
All right.
So, we are going to have an exciting show today. The show that we're having is Negatives on Networking. And the reason why I think this is a perfect topic is because networking covers everything. And that's kind of how this show even was created, because it's about networking and the negatives that you go through. And unfortunately, people kind of like negativity more than positivity. So you have more negative experiences sometimes than you would have positive ones.
I don't think it's more. I just think it's just that's what gets highlighted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it takes on a life of its own and keeps growing and like a virus. So.
Right. That's what viral is. Most of, you get the go viral thing when it's the cutesy little kids, but most of the go viral is
controversy.
Somebody that hurt themselves. Mike fell off a hoverboard. I think Mike was kidding. But whatever keeps your name in the paper.
He just got his ass beat. Just you didn't fall off no hoverboard. Forget about that.
Right. So, Mr. Sanders, we are going to start with you because I want to know who you are and what you do. I know who you are. I know what you do. But I want you to explain it to the guests, and then I definitely want to get into what your take is just on the whole networking experience, and then we're going to get down. We're going to get down into it.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be gritty.
Not a problem. I'm a journalist, number one. I started off at Southwest College, right here in South Central LA. That's where I went to school for journalism. I was the editor-in-chief of my newspaper at Southwest. Then I left there, and I got a job at the LA Sentinel, the Los Angeles Sentinel newspaper. And I worked at the in the entertainment section for a while. Then I was about 23, 24 years old at the time.
Right.
And then I decided that I had time to get back to journalism. I wanted to quit and pursue my music. So I quit. And just started doing music for the next 10 years or something like that.
Did you ever drop anything we can go research?
Well, yeah. The biggest story I did when I was at the Sentinel, Puff Daddy had just caught that case. He was in the club with J-Lo.
Oh, no, I don't mean that. I mean your music.
Oh, yeah, I had a few. So I did a few joints with Corrupt. I did some songs with the Alcoholics. I did a lot of songs with a lot of people. I was on Power 106. I had some success, but the thing about it was, I had that journalism degree sitting there,
right?
And I had a friend of mine. He was doing a show. His name was Fatso Fasano, and he had a show going on called the Uncle Junebug Show. That was Snoop Dogg's uncle, rest in peace.
Okay. I remember that show.
Uncle
Right.
Yeah.
He had that platform going on, and he knew that I did journalism from the being at the Sentinel. And he came to me, and was like, do you want to be a part of this show? So I was like, are you getting paid for this show? I love the platform that you have right here. You can set up a little the way you could set it up. You can get paid for doing this. So I showed him how to put some real journalism behind the actual platform of the show by interviewing the guests, doing behind the scenes footage, things like that. So I brought that to the show, but it probably lasted about maybe 3 or 4 episodes because Uncle Junebug passed away and whatnot. Right. But I still had that. He got that journalistic blood boiling again in me.
So he opened it up and he was ready.
And so from there.
So how did you get to One West?
Well, I went to a convention called the Western Conference. I believe that's where I was at, and I was there, and I was interviewing all of the artists and whatnot. I saw a lot of press that was there, and they were just there for stars and celebrities. Me, I'm the kind of guy that's I'm gonna interview anybody that showed up. You know,
My man.
That's what I'm talking about.
Nobody's too big, nobody's too small. That's what N.O.N.E represents. I love that.
And
that
was
is
my
what
thing.
it's
So
about.
I was just working the room, and I was hitting everybody in there and whatnot. And then I ran into OG Suicide. He's the CEO of One West magazine. He's a suicide survivor and motivational speaker. He started the magazine himself, and his partner Epidemic. You know what I'm saying? That's the vice president of One West magazine. You know, I actually interviewed them during the segment. I didn't know that was a job interview.
Nice. So you did well.
Perfection right there, people. That's what I'm talking about. That's what network, that's when it comes together right.
Yeah, you know.
And that's how I think networking should always be. If you can get in the room, if you can get on the sidewalk, whatever, because they never knew what they were acknowledging, but what they acknowledged in you made a success for everybody.
He stayed on me too because I had been with a publication right before I got with One West magazine. I was like really into doing my own thing at the time.
Right.
But Suicide called me for like the next 30 days. Hey man, I need you, dog. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, see, I love that.
They saw that talent.
And
You're right.
And I'm glad he did, because I love that One West, like the whole movement, the way everybody embraces it and whatnot. It's the business.
Now,
Right.
where I know where y'all at, but
artists love
where
it.
are you? I was gonna say, what I know that the cover. Oh, that's what I want to know. Where y'all, we gonna be in One West magazine with, of course, the Bomb Rollout Show.
That's right.
Y'all
And
know
you
that
do
the
know
mamas
that?
and the daddies right there. We the babies. But yes, we.
Shouts out to OG Poet. All day long.
Oh yes, that is the queen right there.
Trying to take care of mama.
Right. The daddy is doing what daddies do.
He's handling his business.
Handling his fam. That's right.
Yes. Look, I'm a little jealous, Speedy. I'm a little jealous. I'm a little jealous.
Oh, Lord.
All day long. But you can find us in 7-Eleven, Stater Brothers, Food for Less. Right now, we're in over 462 stores nationwide. From Seattle, like what I say on the radio, so like from Seattle to San Diego to the UK to Japan.
Oh,
you can
wow.
find
That is a lot of saturation right there,
Right.
people. And so keep a lookout for us because we are going to be riding with them and we are going to be in their magazine. Speedy. Actually, the Rollout Show, they're doing a live interview. You know you want to be in for that.
Check it out.
Now, I actually have a question for you. You rose pretty quickly straight out of the gate. What was it like to experience that success so quickly?
I like that question.
Well, the thing was, I'm a workaholic, and like I said, I didn't feel like I work off of neglect. I saw what the local radio stations weren't
We're
doing.
lacking.
So I just like made it my business like to promote everybody they weren't promoting. If this guy's not promoting, if he's not important, he's important to me.
Right.
If she's not important, she's important to me.
I
So
love
I just made it my business like to hit everybody that was out there and make it move. Like after a while, it just became what it was.
And I bet you they were loyal to you now at this point, aren't they?
Oh man, to the soil
Yeah.
all day long.
Yeah, because they're being ignored.
Got
Exactly.
to.
Good
You got
for
people get One West tattoos, all
Oh,
kinds of stuff.
see?
I don't have no tats yet. I'm thinking One West might be the first one. No, Morris Media got to be my first
That's
one.
right.
And the
This
thing
shoulder,
was-
One West, that shoulder.
That's a more.
I didn't know it was like that until I actually left the house and went somewhere. I'm always in the pad, doing interviews and working and writing articles and things like that. But when I actually went somewhere and I had my little cap on and my little One West jacket, One West magazine, people were just going
They
crazy.
knew.
I was like, okay,
yeah.
that's what's up, and it felt good.
Good.
So now, y'all know we got to get into the rough stuff. I got to know, especially from a journalistic point of view, Bill Cosby.
I support him 10,000%.
Thank you. Thank you.
From the
Thank
beginning,
you.
from beginning to the end.
Oh, this show about to get rough, y'all.
Thank you, because he is bigger than the legacy that he put down is bigger than any bit of scandal.
It's no way that I couldn't do that. At my age, I think of everything that I learned from him, from every platform, from every show that he put out, from Fat Albert to his documentary, from anything. I know, especially being a master of propaganda.
Right.
I know that if I set my sights on destroying somebody, I can do that. Like I always tell my friends, I never use my powers for evil. To try to
Right.
destroy somebody. My whole thing is like to give you what you need to succeed. Like J.O. says, I can give it to you, but what you gonna do with it?
Right.
So it's that type of thing. So what I see going on with Bill right now, that's an ultimate attack on somebody's legacy and their character.
Oh,
Now, whether he did it or not, hey, that's 10 years ago. Plus, No, if they
Y'all know none. Keep it real.
Thank you.
Look,
and if he did,
I'm gonna let y'all call in. You can
Exactly.
You can fuss and complain. It is what it is.
Exactly.
The call-in number is 323-293-3375. You are on with N.O.N.E. I'm Lotus Lord, and so
AC Saturday coming at you.
Cafeaulait.
and we are in the house with Mr. Damian Sanders, editor of One West Magazine.
www.morrismedialive.com.
So now let me take on Bill.
Go ahead.
My take on Bill.
You know I got a lot to say.
I do. My take on Bill. Well, you take the floor. Open up. I want to hear what you got to say.
they cannot detract from what the man did. They just can't. They can try to. But that was the first positive black image on a white television show.
Right.
With his I Spy.
Yeah.
He came out of nowhere. They pretty much pulled him out. He Hollywood story all day, in regards to that. He had been doing his comedy.
Right.
But as far as television, that was his first television, out the box. That was a hit show. Boom. He's on there. Well, as a young black man growing up, I was watching I Spy and that's before my time. That's more... Right. That's kind of before me. I'm a 70s child.
Yeah.
So, just to put the age perspective there. So that was before. But I was still watching because it was positive.
Right.
Let alone he had Fat Albert.
I mean,
the man set the mindset of several generations.
But so now, how do you... And that's his legacy. But in all honesty, everybody, don't start calling me. It is what it is. I'm going to say what I'm going to say. Now, but Bill, in all honesty, now what I feel like we should be concerned.
But business is business and is pussy.
But now I feel like we was worried about Mike with the kids. Bill done had some of our brightest minds.
I wasn't worried
in
about
his
that
hand.
either. Like the thing is this. Can I say something right quick?
Absolutely.
Now we got a I don't know if you guys have forgot. We had a Republican candidate that ran for president last election. So you had Herman Cain.
Right.
The moment that he took the lead in the Republican primary at 20%, he caught a case. 5 women came forth and accused him of sexual assault.
Right.
It didn't matter if he did it or not, but about 2 weeks later, he wasn't in the lead anymore. So until you're a threat to some type of order, you know what I'm saying?
So you guys feel that it is a conspiracy
Definitely.
type situation?
I would say it's a conspiracy that's been going on for 400 years.
Yes, definitely.
Well, this is what I would say.
You cannot name an important or powerful black man, including our boxers, our politicians, our entertainers, our educators, that has not been attacked in some way or form and found themselves sitting up in front of a white jury. And we're talking about all the way back to slavery.
In a sexual assault case.
Yeah. Oh, let's not talk about the black boys that was lynched just because they said hello.
Well, now then that gets to another topic. So here's my thing. My thing
The
with
slaves cannot become plantation owners.
Oh,
My heart is over here beating out of my chest. So
speak.
The legacy that Bill Cosby built has nothing to do with the fact that he's a pedophile. So I did my research last night, and I have to apologize to you because I couldn't go past the article in the New York Times, the New York Magazine.
What was the article?
It was the 35 women that he assaulted that came forward and were interviewed and photographed.
But now here's my situation with that. Where were they all this time? Because it's not like before Bill ever became who he is to not even just the urban community. That's what I think has blown everybody's mind, is that he's one of the ones that was able to cross the color lines.
Well, first of all, don't get it wrong. If you did it, you're wrong, Bill. Go get some help. Let's get some counseling. Let's do the same thing for him that they doing for that white man that raped that 10-year-old little girl.
And then you have the situation.
See, I don't have no children coming forward on Bill. Them all grown women. If they got caught up, they got caught up, and he was wrong for what he did.
Definitely,
I'm gonna address that.
Anybody,
a man don't have. You ain't got to. Bill, you didn't have to play them games. If you did it, you didn't have to do it.
Well, I think it's more than just. It's not on a small scale. It's all these women. And what you were just talking about, why all these women are coming forward now, there was a young lady, Janice Baker Kinney. She said she was coming forward now to offer her support as a witness. She already knew that her statute of limitations had run out. And I was reading all these testimonies, and they were making me sick to my stomach.
Okay.
You can.
We are going to go to break right there. When you will be back with N.O.N.E Negatives on Networking exclusive experiences in just a moment. Sorry. And we're back. I'm your host, Miss Lotus Lord. You are joined in with Negatives on Networking exclusive experiences. This is Mr. AC Saturday
coming at you.
Miss Cafeaulait.
Percolate, and we have the wonderful Mr. Damian Sanders from One West Magazine in the house with us today. So we're going to bring Mr. Wize in when he gets the opportunity, but we want to pick this discussion up where we left off. We are recapping. We're actually talking about the negatives on networking, and what we've included in that today is the topic of Bill Cosby. We have what we call, this is our new segment, the detonator. So whenever there is something that we feel is compelling enough for us to discuss it, because on N.O.N.E, when we're talking about our own personal experiences with the celebrities and different producers and directors and things of that nature. So we wanted to actually start the new year off a little bit different. We mix it up for you guys. You're going to tell us what you like and what you don't like, and we're going to adjust accordingly. So we're going to get back into the topic. And so AC, actually, Damien, you left off saying that you have 2 daughters. Mm-hmm. And then after you're done, then Cafeaulait, I want you to go ahead and pick back up where you were. Okay.
Well, I got 2 daughters, 19 and 16, and I deal with them, and their boyfriends and their relationships and whatnot, right. I try to give them as much game as I possibly can, to, how to handle themselves with these different guys and whatnot. I definitely do understand that, no means no, always, right. in any situation, whether you're in the bedroom, in the bed, or just change your mind at the spur of the moment, it means no. I understand that. But in this situation with Bill, it's just like, 50 women coming, it's like everybody decided at the same time that they weren't going to say anything. We're going to wait 30, 40 years to bring this up at this point. It's already been well documented for years and years that this guy's been trying to purchase a major network. He's been trying to do this. And when he does get close to it,
something happens. Yep,
scandal,
something happens. The first time his son got killed.
And then it's so many red flags out there that people just ignore. Oh, that didn't happen. Oh, this is not a transparent investigation. I know. First of all, I was a cop in the Air Force for years. Oh, really? I'm a veteran, so when I've seen so many scandalous things going on with couples, especially military couples. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I got some stories. I'm a Marine, ex-Marine, so yeah.
All day Air Force. So when I seen that, when I saw this case right here, I knew that the main thing that I had to do immediately was stand up for him.
Mm-hmm. So do you guys doubt the women?
No.
Okay.
You know what? What I will say is I doubt how the stories are being portrayed. What I think is I do think there was culpability on both parties' part. I think they kind of knew what Mr. Cosby was going after, and they were trying to play it to their advantage, and things might have went wrong.
You were making a point before we went to break, and we're going to bring Mr. Wize in after Cafeaulait gets her point out.
Speaking as a victim of sexual assault myself.
Right. It's okay.
Yeah, you got to go there.
It's okay.
I was reading on the testimonies of the young women that this allegedly happened to.
Right.
There are so many lives that have been ruined. So many women that we possibly don't know about that this could have happened to.
Right. And I understand this. As women, I get it. I get that. And Mr. Wize, we're going to go ahead and bring you in before I make my point. So what is, first of all, good morning in the loo. Y'all have sent us y'all, whether we are out here underwater, y'all. So.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud.
I hear you loud and clear.
Okay. My take on Bill Cosby. Okay. It took 30 years, but they indict him. No evidence, just he say, she say. I'm not saying he did it. I'm not saying he didn't do it.
Right.
But you got film of cops killing innocent people and unarmed kids, children, men, but you can't
get nothing done with them.
Oh yeah, well to me it's like it's a smokescreen. It's like, okay, we might possibly got a good case of this high profile black man that can take the attention off all these white people, or police officers killing black kids.
The justice system is fucked up, just like the music industry and the whole industry, period. It's all political.
Right.
I think if you're going to destroy a black man, bring a sexual assault case. That's the only way. You can't. You can't have a case where the males and the females are unified.
Well, we can never escape the Mandingo warrior image.
Now I'm gonna go a little bit deeper. What I want to know is, and I know for most people this doesn't matter. And on N.O.N.E, I will definitely politics is something I will not discuss because you will not like my views, people. But what I want to say in that matter is what. I guess I want to know is because I have never seen anything but Bill Cosby handle the African American woman with the utmost respect. So I know that Beverly, I believe she came out. Right. She came out allegedly and said that. But that's the only African American woman that I've seen. And so that concerns me on a few levels. It's a red flag both ways. For me, it's a red flag like, okay, Bill, you had all this.
And everybody keeps talking about how Bill ain't, Camille's not saying anything. And Bill is sitting up there. He's being quiet. What the hell is a black man going to say? And you got these kind of allegations on you and you married to a black woman. What you gonna say?
That's why Bill on that cane, y'all. Camille is whooping his ass daily. She is not playing no games up in there.
Sorry, go ahead.
This is what I think in a nutshell. I think that the best. I think that the best is still yet to come. Bill has an outstanding lawyer. I mean, she's been on TV like making her rounds, representing all day long. And he just filed some countersuits himself. So I'm thinking that he's waiting this out. You know what I'm saying? Like to see who's going to do what, who's going to say what, and he's going to make his move. So I think the best is still yet to come from this case.
Black women are y'all going to come for me when I say this, and it is what it is. But, I think she's awesome, but I think if she wants to get Bill off on something like this, she better sit a white girl side seat to her. That's what I think. And that, his face was like, what?
I mean, I look at Kobe Bryant. I look at his case, and how that worked out. Like all of these women have. Remember, number one, Gloria Allred. I don't anything that she's involved with. I don't support that.
Look at it with a side eye.
Anyway, because that when you get her, you want some money. Period. If you want justice, you report this to whomever.
Right.
But when you're dealing with her, this is going to be like the hugest class action lawsuit of these guys trying to get money from Bill. I just think it's all monetary.
One thing I noticed with Gloria too, she usually, I don't know, she always seemed like she's in a position to try to allegedly take down some black man of power. Tiger Woods, like anybody who
I didn't even bring up Tiger. I just left that one alone.
Man, like anybody who has, and truly, there is some situations, and the black man is not representing himself or his women effectively.
Right. Exactly.
Because if he was, all this couldn't happen like this. At the same time, however, there's still a responsibility of us to actually try to do something a little bit different. So, Cafeaulait, I want you to go back to saying what you said. Mr. Wize, you could chime in. You're kind of quiet, so I think you're just listening.
Well, the women that were on the cover of the New York Times, all of them were white except for 7. There were 7 alleged victims.
Okay.
And as far as the victims coming forward now, you don't understand how terrifying it is to come forward.
Right.
It is terrifying because when you go through something like this, your power is stolen, your innocence is stolen.
Oh, and as a woman, we're not believed in the first place.
Thank you.
And that's just the truth. As women, we hold no value. And that goes to a whole, and at that time, I do get it. But at the same time, let me tell you something. If somebody do something to me today, I'm going to scream it every day.
That's right. And that's the type of person that you are.
Right.
Most aren't. Now, when it happened to me, I tried, and I was a child.
Right.
So I tried to tell, and I tried. But the problem is that.
But that's different. You were a child. Oh, that's the other thing I want us to clear up, too, because before you went to break, you were saying that what Bill is accused of. And it's not pedophilia. We want to make a correction.
I apologize on that. He's accused of sexual assault.
And abuse.
And abuse.
Drugging the women.
Yes.
And my thing is, I just think that the only thing that's different about his situation, I think he's at some wild parties and whatnot.
Right.
I just think that it's the same as today, but the drug of choice is just different. It could have been weed. It could have been ecstasy. It could have been whatever. I think that those women wanted those drugs. He had access to it. He got it, and now here we are 30, 40 years later that he's trying to make moves. I'm suing this guy. I'm going to accuse him of something. And just boom, I think that's all
I'm like, what are they, like, hey, Bill's favorite thing, Bill like to hit it, quit it, and forget it.
Well, this is how it allegedly.
That is taking an NDA to a new level right there. That's a non-disclosure for your ass.
Quaaludes,
Well,
man, I'm like, that was the drug. You think about Studio 54 and all these different spots, that's what they were taking.
Well, this is how it allegedly went down. There was a modeling agent that he was good friends with. And he went to this person and told them that he wanted young ladies who were new to the area and who were financially unstable. So these modeling agents interviewed these women, told them that Bill Cosby was interested.
Oh, you just messed it up right there for me. Let me tell you why. Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. But they interviewed these women, and this modeling agent, who was a woman, paid for car service to pick up these young ladies and deliver them to him. And while they were there, thinking that they were going in for an audition, or he was there to coach them as actors or whatever, specifically there was an incident where the young lady thought she was going in for an audition, and she had a monologue prepared and whatnot, and he didn't like that, so he gave her an audition cold, and she was supposed to be tipsy. She was supposed to be drunk. So it was a glass of white wine. He put Quaaludes in there, and she drank it, thinking that she was auditioning for him.
So now what has just happened here live for me with Cafeaulait is she just got Bill off. Let me tell you why. Because if he's guilty, then the broad who set it up is guilty. Then no, really. Because see, I'm not going to, one thing I'm not going to ever do. I'm not going to ever put another woman in a predatory situation.
Thank you.
I'm going to always protect
that makes you an
us.
accessory.
So that's right.
He has tons
She's
of
an accessory 13, 30 years after the fact. And so they need to find all of them. So if they go on trial, so then everybody should be on trial.
And he's not
just
the
him.
only one. Absolutely. He has some other people that are
The
involved.
only thing that Bill should effectively be on trial for is drug dealing because he admitted to the damn Quaaludes.
That's it. You know, then that's another issue. Now we have a justice system here in this country. Now when he admitted that was a sealed legal document. The media went through all kind of hoops and hurdles to get that information unsealed to release it to the public. It was never supposed to be released. Why?
But see, that's why social media, and we're going to do a show about social media in this upcoming year, but that's why social media is a blessing and a curse. Because they could get in there because so many people show the interest, and then once you get that compelling, what we were saying, that virus going, hey, I want to know what. Forget that, open that file. I want to know what he did.
Still to this day, you got people. You got like the former heavyweight champion of the world, Jack Johnson. You got him. His family's still out there trying to get a pardon for his name for all those accusations that was put on him.
Right.
70 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Still, so like it's like this is not anything new. This is an ongoing thing. There's going to be more after this.
Like I said, at the end of the day, if he's wrong, then he needs to be accountable.
Well, to be honest, and don't even bother writing or calling me about it. To be honest, he's been accountable because if he already paid all those people off, like I said, it's a two-way manipulation. And join me in this conversation, Mr. Wize, because they went there. You're not just going to. It's different and understand women. I'm a woman first, and I empower us always. Well, but we're not stupid either. And if I'm going to a married man's room and I'm going to a married man's house and it's 2, 3 in the morning, those are not. Yes, say what you want to say, but those aren't woman hours. I do believe. Yes, if you're not there on some woman shit,
right? Exactly.
And that need to be lined out. And as a woman, you know how to place your. But as a woman, I could tell you something. My mother taught me as a young woman: when you put your glass down, you don't pick that glass back up if you haven't stayed around that glass.
So my daughter's that.
Can't no man nowhere never come and sit no pill down where I'm at and say take this. Good job with that.
Yeah, there was a victim who did that. He sat it down and asked her to take, and she took it. Now I was like, yeah, you shouldn't have done that. But we have a caller Mr. Wize, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. So we have a caller coming in. I want to go to the caller. Caller, you're on live with N.O.N.E.
All right. How you guys doing?
Oh, how are you? Thank you for calling in. We appreciate you supporting us and listening.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. My name is Marion Farrow Tate, and I just wanted to let you guys know about that wonderful thing that Mr. Wize helped me out with. I'm a singer, and I have an album out, a new singer called Respect. And,
hold on, Mr. Tate. Hold on. We are right now. We're talking about Bill Cosby. What's your take on that? Is that what you're calling about?
Oh, no, absolutely not. I'm calling about Mr. Wize and with social media, how he helped me out with that.
Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to come back to you because we're not down into Mr. Wise's wow yet, and that's where you can feel free to call back in. Mr. Wize, shoot, go ahead and jump back in and tell us. So I loved your video, by the way. I want to know, I want everybody to go to the Secret Show Club YouTube and check out Mr. Wize when he is talking about Bill Cosby and Donald Trump, because I thought that was hilarious. Now I need you to elaborate on that, Mr. Wize. Why are you a janitor if Bill goes to jail?
Because I feel like this. If Donald Trump running for president, he basically telling a bunch of lies and they feeding into him, and then all of a sudden Bill Cosby gets indicted.
Right.
This world is messed up. So basically, if Donald Trump gonna be president, I can see we gonna be mopping up a lot of shit.
Oh, for sure.
Oh man.
If they think the Bush cut up,
Oh my goodness!
if they lit down on there, it's done.
It's horrible to the nth power. It's gonna be.
Man, so you said that. Oh Lord. So, but how? Okay. Do you guys? How do you feel that that's going to impact like I said, I don't do politics, but how do you think that that's going to impact people? I'm going to tell you, I honestly think that if this had came out before Barack was president, he would have never been president.
Never.
Because Bill is actually one of the people that they judge, that, that's the invisible stick that we have to deal with. They judge us by that stick. Yep. And that's why it's so important, too, that we clear the names that should be clear. And, if he did what they alleging he did, Bill, come on, man. You could have got a few broads for free off the fig.
I made the statement right here. Somebody was saying that, they're going so hard trying to destroy his legacy and whatnot. I'm like, look, the only way a legacy can be destroyed is if you respect the opinion of the person that's trying to destroy it.
Right.
If you don't respect what they're saying, then his legacy is all good. Mm-hmm. It's what he means to you.
Right.
And that's all that matters. Now, if they do destroy him in their eyes, and you roll with that, then he's destroyed.
What I don't like is
basically what they trying to do is destroy his reputation. Period.
Right.
Because Bill has done so much for the entertainment industry, for the African American population, that so it's basically politics.
Yeah. Same with Michael Jackson. When it came out that he bought his catalog, and he bought the Beatles catalog.
Right.
Matter of fact, in the way he did it off some old J.R.U. in Dallas type of stuff. He had
But
them.
that's networking. That's networking.
He had
in the
them
industry.
sell his catalog to the Chinese, and then he bought it from the Chinese.
But you know what that brings?
Because they wouldn't sell it to him.
Because they wouldn't sell it to him.
They wouldn't sell it to him.
And that's why he's dead right now, I believe.
That and was it 5% of Sony that he owned?
Hopped on the stage and told everybody what he did. They thought I was smart, but I was smarter than them.
Black people.
You got to play the game. You got to learn the game better than everybody else and play it better than everybody else. And that's what he did.
And networking, unfortunately, and that's why this show was created, because the industry, it is so, Bill can be blamed, but at the same time, like I said, now that you've shared with me, Cafeaulait, that someone was lining it up, who was the lousy, excuse my word, that was lining it up? Because
that's the problem. Hollywood qualifies the bad behavior.
It does.
I learned in the military. That was probably like my biggest life lesson right there, was leaving the hood and going to the Air Force.
We got 3 vets with us. Vets, shout out. Mr. Wize is a vet also.
I learned to keep my ambitions to myself, keep my mouth shut about what my intentions are and things like that, because I know that people are watching me and looking to destroy me.
Sure are.
And I found that out there.
Mr. Wize, what do you think about that? I want to hear your take on that for sure.
It goes way back to, I don't know, just way back in history. It's like this. It was white supremacy. They wore hoods. Now they don't wear hoods anymore. They in political places and places of power.
They always were.
And this is what they do. Now, a district attorney convenes a grand jury. A grand jury only does what a district attorney says do.
Right. It's only going to investigate they're only going to look at the evidence that they present.
Right. So if they make Bill Cosby out to be this bad person, or he did this and did that, even I don't care if it was 50 years ago, but they should have got him back then for drugs.
It's hard to
not what they doing now.
It's hard to beat
because
50 million
he wanted by NBC.
Well, see, let me tell you what to me that says. To me, that says for all this time, and like I said, don't bother calling me or writing. I don't care. What this says to me is all this time, he somehow had some kind of some kind of Caucasian cushion, I think. And I don't want to make this a race thing, but it is.
It already is.
It's the good old boys club.
Right. Right. It's like Sammy Davis Jr. When he was right, I mean, there's chosen. What they say, fewer chosen, many come, but fewer chosen. So when you cross over, you do.
I don't even think.
If I'm hanging with you, I'm gonna do what you do. Right. So he wasn't the only one putting Quaaludes in people's drinks.
Right.
That's my thing.
We got somebody right now that just came out that said that's talking about racism real strong, and that's Floyd Mayweather.
Oh, really?
Now, I mean, he just made a comment the other day saying that he believes, like, heck yeah, there's a lot of racism in boxing. The main way I made my money was because I knew that these folks wanted me to lose.
Right.
They wanted their champion in the face of boxing to be white. I used that to get paid. And I didn't lose. Now they're mad.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, he just said that like about 2 or 3 dadays ago, and it's blowing up all over social media right now.
And I think just sly ways that he won't go for 50 because of
Larry Holmes, when he lost to Michael Spinks, they stole that fight from that guy right there, and you're already knowing that with him and it was bigger than the Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather fight. It was about Floyd and Al Heyman,
right.
The guy that's running his business with him and whatnot. These guys took 20 fighters from Oscar De La Hoya and Bob Arum. All those guys just left and went and signed with Al and Floyd. That's what it was about. That's why these people are mad.
I definitely think that people are threatened because Bill has done so much for urban America. I think people are threatened because when you look at the entertainment industry, the African Americans are actually on par now.
He was doing a lot in the community as far as doing town hall meetings, trying to motivate the black man and woman.
And he does have one alleged victim who battled with it for a while because she was torn between doing what she needed to do for herself and taking down an iconic black man. She was like, I don't know if I can do this because he means so much to our people.
And that's hard. I mean, I definitely get that. That's definitely a hard situation. We are getting ready to go to break, but before we go to break, we got to have our shoe of the week by Mr. John Ashford. Y'all know we can't do this without the beautiful Cafeaulait over here laying out this shoe for us because this is a Happy New Year shoe for sure.
Thank you. It is literally walking around talking about Happy New Year, Happy New Year. Beautiful. It's like the midnight sky and you throw stars into the midnight sky. Beautiful. All you're missing is some champagne to drink out of the toes, ladies.
Oh, sounds
they
like
are for these beautiful feet. Mesh and diamonds. What else do you need, ladies? Please go to John Ashford's website. Go to his showroom in New York City. Check them out. Buy them. Gentlemen, please buy these for your ladies because I want a pair. Hey, honey, can I get a pair? I know you watching. Can I get a pair? Gorgeous ladies. Please pick them
checkbook.
up.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
That is definitely a champagne night type of shoe.
Have to make that happen.
That's right.
Go back, gentlemen.
You know what? I don't even want to address it.
And you are back with Negatives on Networking Exclusive Experiences. I'm your host, Miss Lotus Lord.
This is AC Saturday coming at you.
Miss Cafeaulait.
And we have the wonderful Damon Sanders from One West Magazine in the house with us today. And, of course, my baby, Mr. Wize, wowing you as usual. We are, our topic of the day is the detonator, and it is Mr. Bill Cosby. And so that has been Mr. Wize, give me a quick wow. Where we going with Bill? What we doing? Who you supporting? What's going on?
Okay, I support Bill, but I feel like this. Bill, if you knew you had all these women in the closet, you knew they were gonna come out someday. Mm-hmm. Everybody can't keep their mouth shut. Everybody don't think alike. Right. So I wish you the best going forward. Hey, I looked up to you. I still look up to you. But
you got your mop.
Yeah, man.
AC, what's your crossroad?
For me, I'm going to say that if Bill did it, he needs to be accountable. I'm not, I still support him as far as the legacy that he leaves. You know, I'm not going to support no man raping no woman in no way, form, fashion. I don't support that. I don't support men putting hands on it. None of that. And I've lived life and been in every point of view. I can say my point of view will cover this spectrum. I've lived every position. I've sat every seat. You know, people don't believe what I say, but I've been there, done that. So, yeah, Bill, if you did it, you need to get some help. But he needs to be afforded the same stick that they judging the other people in position, be it their whatever race or color it is the same. They need to afford that to Bill Cosby also.
Give me a premium positive, Miss Cafeaulait, and thank you for sharing your experiences with us, sweetheart.
Yes, Mom, I'm sorry, we didn't know it was going to go that dark for you.
Yeah, it's been a little tough to talk about that today. As far as being an actress in this industry, being a woman, I want to offer from King James Version of the Bible, Psalm 37:1, fret not thyself because of evildoers. Bill Cosby may or may not be an evildoer, but fret not thyself. Each and every one of these alleged victims, you can come back from this. It's not the end of the world. It isn't.
And thank you. And so now we're going to get into today's version of the rant. So, for one, you know, we judge people daily, and we're judged daily. And that's why the world is so harsh, and that's also why I'm glad that I was allowed to afford it the opportunity to have a platform where I could speak up on it, just because the world had got so dark. But know one thing, that a person's character isn't their character. So at the end of the day, we're all technically in love with Dr. Heathcliff Huxtable. Because Bill Cosby is Bill Cosby.
It's a different cat.
Dr. Heathcliff Huxtable, that's a character. And so do we all endear this character? Do we love this character? Yes. But we all have two sides. And what it really comes down to is who you are and who your character is on your worst day. Because it's easy to be a good guy when it's your best day.
Yep.
And that's my today's rant. And Mr. Damien, you could go ahead and wrap up on this subject.
Well, I think no matter how heinous the accusation, may be,
right.
I think, I'm going to support the dude 10,000%. I believe that it just baffles me the amount of women that
right.
never came forward, until now, And that's the part that just I can't wrap my finger across, that right there.
But now where I'm twofold on that is because it was the same thing with Tiger though. That man said whatever. We was like, where did he get the time between golf chips? Like, where was this happening?
If Bill didn't have the money, he'd be in jail now.
Oh,
he'd already be locked up.
Right.
So that's
if he was Billy on the block, he wouldn't have got past the third one.
And that's how I judge it. I don't judge it on the scale of this being this big important person. I judge it on the scale of what if it was me. Okay. I'd be in jail. I'd be under the jail.
Oh, for sure.
So that's the thing about it. So I got to protect the little guy.
Pookie and them would have came and got you.
Got to protect the little guys.
Mm-hmm. Well, we definitely appreciate you guys joining us today. And you want to be back with us. We're going to find out. We're going to give you all our information and where you can find us. Mr. Sanders, you are the guest. So, of course, we're hospitable. You go first. Where can they find you, sir?
They can find me at dsanders132. That's dsanders132 at One West Magazine, at One West Radio, at One West TV. I wear a lot of hats.
We are going to be and when do we get on One West?
Oh man. January the 9th, we're going to be at Amoeba Music in Hollywood.
Yeah!
on Sunset, knocking it down.
All right,
so
check it out.
Right.
I look forward to
Speedy will be there.
Yeah.
Rain, sleet, or snow. It will be a line.
That's right.
So we got a heck of a 2016 coming up.
Yes, Miss Cafeaulait, my baby's always percolating. Where can they find you?
You can find me at Cafeaulait_77 at yahoo.com. It's my email. And also Cafeaulait on Facebook and Instagram.
Mr. AC Saturday.
And
Give it to us.
Check me out on Facebook, AC Saturday, AC_Saturday on Twitter and Instagram.
Mr. Wize, baby, tell them where they can get that wisdom at all day.
You can find me on Facebook, Mr. Wize, on Instagram, Mr. Wize, Twitter. Just Google me. You know, Mr. Wize everywhere, dog.
And next week we are going to come. When we come back next week, we're going to share a negative networking experience, but we're also going to give you a breakdown of who we are and why we look the way we do. And Mr. Wize, you're going to know why he has those words of wisdom and where they come from. And so we thank all of you guys for joining us today. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Air Kisses 2016 is the year of the indie. Remember that. I don't care who you are somebody to somebody.
That's right.
At the end of the day, grind till you shine.
And you do know that.
That's right.
It's the way we live our lives, knowing we gon' be alright. Forever stay on my grind. Don't you know it's my time? I'm a star, star, star. You gon' know who we are. I'm a star, star, star. You gon' know who we are, who we are.